Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the NJ podcast. This podcast aims to share stories, tips, and insights about achieving success while having fun. From topics ranging from personal development to business, entertainment, and sports, the podcast will have conversations with experts and people in their respective fields. The podcast will also share insights from Jablo James's published and upcoming books. The tagline, which is the theme of the podcast, is "Success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal." This means that you are doing what you have always wanted to do because it is aligned with your highest values, and this is the only way you can live a truly fulfilled life. Your host, Jablo James.
Hey everyone, NJ here, host of the NJ podcast, and welcome to another episode of the Conversations segment of the podcast. And remember that the theme of the show is that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That means you're going after what you've always wanted to go after, not because somebody else is telling you to do so. And that's the only way for you to live a truly fulfilled and successful life. And now on the show, we've got round two. Karabo, we've got Karabo Kerry here. He's an all-round good guy. I wouldn't call him a hustler. He's not a hustler, but he's just a person with great philosophies. And a matter of fact, he has the potential to become South Africa's very own Andrew Tate. I'm joking. So, my man, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for coming back. So the last conversation that we had was last year. And at that time, you were conversation number 26. Now I think you're back. You're somewhere in the 40s now. So that's
growing.
Yeah, it is growing. It is growing. People in France are listening to you. People in India are listening to you. People in Nigeria are listening to you.
Nice. What's up, Nigeria?
But more importantly, people from Joburg are listening to you. That's very important. So thank you very much for making your time, and your time is very valuable. So just give the people an introduction. Who's Karabo? Where's he been? How have you been since we last spoke about? Because this is a heavy show that we're going to do today. This is a heavy show that we're going to do. Yeah.
Putting pressure, man.
It's not pressure. Yeah.
You already said everything, man. You got my Karabo,
Yeah.
Kerry.
Yeah.
It's my
Matate. Yes. Yeah, for the 2 hours.
Yeah, so I think the whole point of me coming back, besides the fact that I'm part of this show in terms of following it, with family. I want to see this move up because this is not scripted. It's just a machita.
Just chatting. Yeah,
we're just chatting, and also the continuation of what we did.
Previously,
because previously it's like over 2 hours.
Yeah,
we didn't even feel it.
We didn't even feel it.
We're just gonna kick it from where we left off.
Yeah,
and talk about relevant things as well.
Yeah.
I see you put this ridiculous thing which I think was unnecessary.
I do unnecessary things. I mean, just look, I've got globes and an angel and freaking, I'm an unnecessary guy.
Yeah, man, this is annoying.
Why is this annoying?
Shiny, first of all.
Yes. Why is this annoying you?
I think everyone that knows you personally knows that you're a football fan.
Yeah.
But you just throw it in our face. You don't have to, man.
I know I don't have to, but for me, like the thing is, I like collecting objects. I just like collecting trinkets like angels and all that. And then when Messi won the World Cup, I felt like, okay, I'm gonna collect myself this World Cup trophy. Because
how did you feel when you got the cup?
We're going straight there. I'm not even joking. So the 18th of December, I was overwhelmed because I was like, yo, maybe it's going to get fed. Maybe it was Mshaya. It was going to be 3. Have you ever seen a 3-0 final, 4-0 final? And then I was like, because I was on nuts because I'm like, this is the last chance for him to cement his status as a GOAT. Yeah. And I like watching people do things that people said you were not able to do. For example, like if you said, I'm going to make $1 billion, and then your making the $1 billion was hinged on that one deal that I could watch on TV. I know it doesn't. Yeah, I can't. Because I like seeing greatness. So what happened is, I actually went, I made a mistake. I went to go watch this publicly.
Okay.
It was somewhere in Brum that Sondela had an event there. So then I was actually going to go watch them, but why is it big screens, whatnot? I'm there. I wasn't wearing my Argentina shirt, or was I? No, I wasn't wearing the Argentina shirt.
You even have an Argentina shirt?
Yeah, because I went to Argentina in 2019, so I just bought Maradona and Messi. I'm extra, I know. Sure. So then, like, 1-0. I'm like, yes. 2-0. I'm feeling myself. Yeah. Mbappe scores.
That's crazy, man.
Mbappe scores again.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it. I drove home. I left. I drove home.
During the game?
No, like, you know what? Like, after the end of 90 minutes. I was like, I can't watch this here. I'm gonna come back home and watch it here. I couldn't take it. And then I subscribed to Showmax just for the World Cup. And then, hey, next thing, Messi scores again. Yay, Mbappe another one. Hey. And then the penalties wasn't actually even close. I mean, France didn't do well on those penalties. The final kick. When I can't remember who scored the final penalty. When he scored the final penalty, I got up. I was like, yes, you son of a bitch. Hey, because I'm like, woman, son of a bitch, man. Hey, I ran around the house. I was like, I jumped up and down, and then I fell down on the floor.
It was a crazy one.
It was a crazy.
I think what made this one of the most iconic moments
in
history was the fact that, firstly, it's Mbappe versus
Messi. Yeah, the two greatest players.
For each other, they play together and stuff like that. Also, when we go into, analyzing the whole match that happened, there were goals, and that's what we want.
Exactly. 6 goals in the final. Imagine.
Exactly. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And with these days, it's mediocre. Now you find teams that just want to do a 1-0 or a 2-0 and then
like the Champions League final yesterday.
Exactly. I didn't even watch that.
Didn't you watch that?
I just saw Pep, and then I was happy for Pep. Pep come from far.
Like, did you phone him?
I had to highlight him. He was too busy.
He was too busy crying. Okay, good. Pep, when you get on the show, we'll talk about keep the ball possible.
So that final for me was the best final
ever seen.
Ever.
Yeah.
I can go back to most finals that we've witnessed. To be honest with you, in terms of football and how it has elevated the standards.
Yeah.
You can't get nothing better than that.
No.
So there's too much pressure now with the next World Cup that's coming.
Yeah, it's probably going to be bap.
Exactly.
It's probably going to be bap.
It has to be too much.
Well, now we need a final where we've got 10 goals, like 5-5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So football. I know you're a big fan, and you were too busy looking at the international football, forgetting about Zenzakala like Kaya, some of the Kaizer Chiefs fans.
What about the Kaizer Chiefs fans? I feel nothing for Kaizer Chiefs fans. Nothing. They must see all the fire in the world. For Mabakali won't care.
So the last time I was here, I told you about a 7-year-old that has never seen Kaizer Chiefs lifting a trophy.
Yeah.
Now that 7-year-old has turned, I think, 8 or 9.
Still hasn't seen that.
Still hasn't seen that from Kaizer Chiefs, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for all of that. Because growing up, it was tough with these guys, because they were powerful back in the day. Yeah,
I know now.
They must catch all the hidings.
And it's funny that Kaizer Chiefs fans don't understand that we don't finish a season without lifting a trophy.
No.
You know what I mean? It might not be a major cup compared to a league, but we do lift something.
I think by the way, you're a Paris fan. I'm a Paris fan.
Hey,
yes, I've been a Paris fan all my life. Like how I started to become a Paris fan, my mom was a Paris fan. And
she's the queen.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, like, if your marriage doesn't support Pirates, I'm not to funda. And then she supported Pirates from back in the day. She was so invested that, like we are today. If a Pirates was to lose, her entire week is missed. I can't. Yeah. So it is good. And then we won the Nedbank Cup as well, which is very good. It was very good.
MTN 8, we got the double. So that was the biggest achievement for us. Unfortunately, we ended on number 2 on the PSL. But for me, that's like first place. I mean, Sundowns has just ruined it. Exactly.
They're City now. They are Manchester City.
Yeah. When we speak amongst Pirate supporters, we just just say we won a treble because, firstly, we qualified for the CAF champion.
Well, not, first of all,
yeah. And we're one of the teams in South Africa that,
we've actually won.
Up there.
We've actually won.
Yeah, we got a star and we can compete there at the highest level.
Yeah, we can.
It's not going to be put to waste.
Exactly.
Mamelodi Sundowns, no one really cares about them because they're not entertaining.
No, it's like it's boring now because winner. Like
even when you bet for them and you put in $1 million on them, you're gonna get $1,100,000 rand.
Exactly, because the odds are so high.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm very happy about last season. I'm definitely gonna have a great 2023
because of that season. Yeah.
And on a serious note, for some of us, soccer plays a very huge role in terms of the energy and in terms of the mood that it puts you in.
Let me ask a question. Let's say with all the pressures that you face now in life, when as cheat, if there was none of that outlet, no football or whatever sport that you can go to, how would your life be?
It was going to be crazy because we find solace in such things.
Yeah.
We find comfort. We gain our strength. Other people go to church. I don't know why.
What do you mean? Why people go to church? I go to church.
Okay.
I
had some pianos there.
I don't got that. I'll give you this. Well, for you, you're like that's you. The awkward part. Yeah.
So without soccer, man, like as I was about to say that, it's one of the things that can really fuck up your week.
Okay, yeah.
If so, I'm in the sales and marketing industry.
Sure.
Work with numbers, and I know if Pirates loses, chances are I'm not gonna perform well in that week. You know what I mean? And I'm being honest with you. And with us as salespeople, we work.
How do your clients and your managers feel about all that? Would say, we have a down week. We're gonna have down week from Kerry. That's not even
exactly. Yeah, they know. They know. I mean, if we have our con call first thing in the morning, like tomorrow, the first thing that they're gonna talk about is soccer.
Yeah.
On a Teams call. What's up, guys? How's the day, guys?
Sure.
So. And with us losing, we know that it kind of affects the mood because we are energy driven type of people.
Yes.
So soccer plays a major role.
Yeah.
In our lives. If the wifey is giving you stress, you got soccer.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because you can't really go to your friends after fighting with the wife.
No, you can't.
You just have to watch.
Yeah, if you do, but like that's the thing. They'll launch you. I'm like, she doesn't know anything, but
exactly. Soccer. That's the major thing for us.
Yeah,
I call it the biggest church.
The biggest church.
That's the biggest church.
Even in church, where when I'm there conversing with friends, football comes up. It comes up
exactly.
Even the pastor will make jokes about Man United.
Yeah.
And everyone in the entire congregation will get it. I'm like, we know. Yeah. So it's very powerful. It's powerful. Yeah. It's powerful. I mean, so then. Okay, so with football being the biggest sport, I know we've got basketball. I guess LeBron James, it's fine.
Are you also a LeBron hater?
I'm not a hater. I don't hate on LeBron. Actually, LeBron James. I said something inflammatory. I said if LeBron James was to win this past title, he can be. I've got a new goat. Azanga bangibele.
Look, let me tell you something.
That's why the Jordan fans came after me. They wanted to kill me.
I'm one of the Jordan fans too.
I was like, I'm joking. It's just a joke.
Yeah, you can't joke like that.
I know you can't joke with Black Jesus.
You can't. I'm glad you said Black Jesus.
He calls himself Black Jesus.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Look, you have one of the greatest basketball players like Allen Iverson, who's, in my opinion, top 5 of all time.
Yeah.
Who once crossed over the GOAT himself.
Yeah.
He was speaking on his Hall of Fame speech, and he was like, the first time I laced it up and I was playing against Michael Jordan, I looked at him, and I was like, man, this is Jesus, this is God. So imagine someone at that level looking at Jordan
like that.
At that level, and the GOAT topic for us, the stats will say that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, but the clutch that Jordan has,
Yeah,
the winning mentality,
yeah.
and how he wins as well.
Exactly.
We
Stephen A. Smith, he went 6 for 6 with 6 fighters every piece. They were allowed to game 7.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that, Skip. That is blasphemous. How dare you?
Exactly. You know him.
Yeah, I know Stephen A. Yeah.
So look, Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
Yeah.
I've just put a status now on my WhatsApp. It says until LeBron has his own shoe line, right?
Yeah.
Nike. So until a nigga gets robbed,
of
his
LeBron's. Maybe we can now. No one.
You can't tell me.
I'm not. I like. Look, listen. I'm a big fan of yours, LeBron James. I don't want this to go out and say you want to come on my show. Like, listen, we have the same name, James. Come on. But I haven't even seen a James shoe.
Thank you.
I haven't seen anyone wear a James shoe.
Thank you.
Exactly. I mean, there was a Spider-Man movie that just came out. When I watched it, they were talking about Jays.
Exactly. Even look. There's no song about
J's on my feet.
Yeah.
J's on my feet. Exactly. Yeah. So we've got Michael Jordan, we've got tennis, and all these greatest of all time players. For me, the greatest athlete because of football is Lionel Messi. Because of football, because of how big football is.
Can't debate that.
I'm saying the greatest athlete of all time for me, because of the reach of football that football has to be Messi. Because think about it, it's the biggest sport in the world. It's the biggest sport in the world. That's not even a debate. It has got more people play the sport, and then Messi comes along as universally known as the best in that sport. So from using that argument, he has to be the best athlete ever.
It's a very tough one, man.
It is a very tough one because for me, it was always Jordan as the best athlete, and then I had your Roger Federers and all those guys. But now I had to sit and think after the World Cup. I'm like,
there's Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, Floyd Mayweather. Because
the
GOAT, according to you, yes.
He's a GOAT, man. I don't want to have this talk. We already spoke about that in the first segment.
Yeah, no, we talked about that already. Again, for me, I say if someone says if people say that Mayweather is the GOAT, I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah, you can't debate it.
I'm not going to debate it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know what? Let me just say, I agree with you that Messi is, one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But
across sports,
I don't have a GOAT across all sports because it's very hard, man. All these guys are doing very well
in their respective sport. Yeah, because I mean, this debate came out watching those sports debate shows. First of all, sometimes GOAT debates are just useless. Sometimes it's so they'll bring in. For example, in the basketball GOAT debates, at one point they wanted to put Curry as a GOAT. I was like, this is where I stop. Chef Curry as the greatest player ever. He's already lost 2 finals, so it's a bit late. It's a bit late, ne? It's a bit late. It's a bit late. Will he ever get there?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
I think the word GOAT, has been overused, and it's very dangerous to use
exactly.
that word. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could go out who's pumping gas for you, a shell garage. I'm like, what? You're the GOAT. I pump 5. Yeah, you're the GOAT. It's like, what are you doing?
Do you even know? And especially, I was having. I tuned this 2000 not too long ago.
Why are you debating about 2000?
I wasn't even debating. I wasn't debating. I was like, I tuned him shit. He used the GOAT carelessly. I was like, do you even know what GOAT stands for? It was the greatest of all time. I was like, okay, sit down and think.
Yeah.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
All time means all time.
It's
before this person was born.
Yeah, exactly. Up
present,
until now.
And also the future as
yes.
well.
We don't know about the future, but
yeah. And then he thought about it and he was like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, yeah, stop using the word carelessly. You can't talk about Lil Uzi Vert as the greatest of all time. You can't say he's goated. He's not a goat,
He's a great person. He's a great
athlete. He's great at what he does, but not of all time. That's why we need to go back to basics.
Go back, exactly.
Yeah.
For you to be considered the greatest of all time, you need, with the one word, time.
Yes.
You say you need time.
Exactly.
You need longevity. You need to have done really well for the time that you actually operated in. Now everyone's the GOAT.
Come on, you need to be different. Man.
Question. On this whole GOAT debate, in terms of rappers, I didn't ask you this question. Who's your top 5 rappers?
it's hard, but then
And
on top of my head right now,
and I'm gonna tag them on.
it's fine. On top of my head right now, without even thinking deep into
Sure.
it, I can say Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, yeah.
I mean, lyrically, he's a beast, man. From when he started, I mean, Jay-Z, when he started with Jizzo,
The Black Album's untouched, eh?
Black Up, and at that time he was already, a mogul.
Yeah.
I'm talking about him in the 90s when he started.
Yeah.
When he was rapping fast. That for me is like a great foundation of a great lyricist.
Yeah.
An MC. I can put Weezy in there, Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne,
I know a lot of people wouldn't agree, but then when I started listening to him when he was still part of the Hot Boys, when he was still a teenager.
Yeah.
And that's the real Lil Wayne that we know, not Lil Tunji.
Yeah.
I said Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
And then, sure. So it's gonna be Jay-Z.
You've got
Lil
three more
Wayne.
spots there. You've got three more spots. Just Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, and this is no particular order.
In no particular order.
In no particular
Okay.
order, because the order will get people in trouble. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm gonna put in Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick.
Kendrick
Okay.
Lamar, for me, is one of the the greatest storytellers.
Yeah, I still think Drake is better than him though.
I was about to throw in, Drake.
I'm
Look,
sure.
Drake, we can debate about that one because Drake has a lot of body work.
He's got a lot. Yeah, he's got a lot of work. Like,
Yeah, he
it's
has
like,
a lot of work. He has a lot to offer us and a lot to still offer. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Kendrick can say I have retired.
Yeah.
Because it takes time to make dope music. But
Yeah.
in that time that he makes it, it becomes impactful.
Yeah.
All his albums that came out were dope. I mean, the last one, Mr. Morales and Big Steppers,
Yeah.
was dope. Drake, so
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got one left.
Yeah.
And I have to throw in, I don't want to say J. Cole, but I might end up saying J. Cole.
Yeah, J. Cole's good. If you
But I'm not going to add J. Cole.
uh
I will say Lupe Fiasco.
Lupe Fiasco.
Lupe Fiasco because he's
Come
an
on
MC.
now.
I'm serious.
Oh,
I'm thinking
come
about
on
it
now.
now.
Come on now.
I'm serious. I'm thinking about it now because Lupe Fiasco is not a typical mainstream rapper.
Sure.
He does not have a lot of hits.
Yeah.
He's not a diamond or platinum artist.
Yeah.
He's not a typical award-winning artist, but
Yeah.
in terms of hip hop, he understands the technical side of it,
Yeah.
the academic side of it.
Yeah.
He did a lecture at some university. I'll quickly find out. You can even look it up.
Yeah.
There's a lecture where he breaks down rap. I think the clip is like an hour or 2 hours long. So he's actually teaching rap.
Is this
in
Lupe?
university.
You say this is Lupe? Yeah.
Lupe Fiasco, yeah. So when you listen to his lyrics, one of my favorite songs and favorite albums, Food and Liquor, Droga's Wave. He's a great storyteller. So you must please research about him.
Yeah, I will.
I know that you only know Kick Push, Superstar, all these songs that were mainstream.
Yeah, but
just,
not the
yeah,
deeper
just go
ones.
deep into it, and you're definitely gonna.
He has he has a course in MIT.
Exactly, MIT is.
What?
So you must remember, this is an elite
University, yeah.
You're a scholar,
Yeah.
this. So for him to be given such a platform, it means that he does have a huge, impact in the culture.
Yeah.
So he breaks down rap and hip hop
Yeah.
very well. He simplifies it, also gets deep into it as well. He's like the new age Rakim.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Rakim, yeah.
So
Okay, so I get you. So you've got Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
You've got, you said Lupe. You've got Lil Wayne. You've got Drake, and you have Kendrick.
Lamar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so-
That's a very interesting choice.
Just look it up.
no-
Look him up.
No Eminem.
I don't want to say I'm racist.
You are racist.
I'm not racist.
You
I've
are
got
racist.
white friends. But look, M for me, I know a couple of rappers that can go toe to toe with him, and I feel like if he was black, he wouldn't have been as great as he is, because one of the things that made him to be a shocker in the industry was because he's a white boy. You know what I mean? He rapped black, and he had a nice edge
Yeah,
into
yeah.
his material. He's funny as well,
Yeah.
without him even knowing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And also he was associated with Drake, who's a goat
Yeah.
in terms of production.
Yeah.
So if Drake touches you,
You're gold.
you're
Yeah.
elevated.
Yeah.
I don't.
So
I
no,
don't,
so
I'm
no,
not hating on
so
him.
no Snoop Dogg, no Big Daddy Kane, no Andre 3 Stacks,
Hey,
no.
killing me, man.
Like, okay, here's my top five. I sat down and I thought about top five. Yes, 3 Stacks.
Eish.
Like, I think if he was to drop an album, we'd all die.
Yes.
The world would end.
Yeah, he's in Japan now.
Yeah.
Acting all weird, just living life.
Yeah.
just
If
chilling.
he says I'm dropping a full-length album, we all die. All of us would die. All of us. So I actually didn't rate him. You know what I was like? I remember I was chilling with my brother-in-law. He's a hip hop head. I was like, why do people think that Andre 3000 is so good? He was like, what?
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's amazing. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, let me go do my research. I'm like, this guy,
Yeah.
he'll kill us if we had a full-on album.
Yeah,
He'll kill us.
Look, Andre just I think one of the biggest crimes that he did, he never gave us a solo album. And all those snippets that we've heard from him really showed us that he was a GOAT. And when you research about him, most artists, they actually consult to him.
Yeah.
There's a video where Kendrick, makes him to listen to his album before he released it, and he gets, a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I know this new, it's not really new, Nigerian rapper, Toby Ningwe.
Toby Ningwe, I've heard of the name.
Toby Ningwe, you must check him out.
Yeah.
His flow is the same as
3 Stacks.
3 Stacks,
No
and
ways.
he just reminds me of him. You must listen to the one a freestyle that he did on Sway in the Morning.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly just like 3 Stacks. Lil Wayne, in one of his raps, he compares himself. There's a song called Maybach Music. It's by Rick Ross. I know you know it.
But DP, what you got? You got something for us? Oh, yeah. Turn that up, Troy. I ain't gonna waste no time. Come on, Toby. First time I was on Sway, I was broke. It was me and Fat. Now I'm back, 3 kids later, rich and black. Fresh up off a song with Pharrell, but still be strapped. Cause hell, I'm from where itchy trigger fingers just kinda stretch. Your life, I hail from the land of purple Sprite. Where legends like Fat Pat and Pokey done broke the mic. Don Key taught me to pimp the pen till it hurt the right. And Paul Wall said when you smile, hurt they sight. I could do that. Word to Lil Flip, here Clover G. Shout out to the dummies who thought I'd only rap locally. Nowadays, I be overseas and fed overeas. So much so, I can so believe say we about to have some more kids. Yeah, I shoot up the club. Southwest LA, Texas, I grew up with thugs. I don't type text or use my thumb.
He is.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know what you're talking about. I didn't say you didn't know what you're talking about. I know you know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So Toby, he reminds me a lot of 3 Stacks, and he's like a reinvented 3 Stacks. He doesn't mind people saying that. There's a line on the song by Rick Ross, who was featuring Kanye and Lil Wayne. There's a line where he says, "You see the Biggie." You see the Biggie, you see the J and Tupac in him, Kurt Cobain and Andre 3 Stacks in him. So he's naming all the GOATs, that at the highest level in their category.
And then they all wrapped all into this guy, yeah?
Exactly, you know what I mean? So Andre 3 Stacks, I'm sorry I didn't mention you, but you didn't give me a body of work, so that's why I'm not gonna put you on my top 5.
Yeah. So it's 3 Stacks, I got you on my top 5. We'll get you on the show. So my top 5, and I thought about it because people like these whole top 5, top 10 lists. So I take some time to think about it. Sometimes I think they're just useless. Can we just enjoy people while we're there? So for me, it's Eminem.
No particular order.
This is my order. No particular order. Don't do that. Stay on. Stay.
Man, I was about to leave.
I know you're about to leave. Because I like to say things that are inflammatory. Like
Don't do that, man.
That's fine. Because look at your reaction. Look at your reaction. But a lot of people will agree with that. There are a lot of people who agree with that.
I don't know.
Well, you don't know, of course, because you're racist. I'm a globalist, like.
You're the one that's looking for a sponsor.
Exactly, so I'm a globalist, So there's Eminem, Jay-Z. Cannot have a top 5 without Some people have a top 5 without Jay-Z. Can you imagine?
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So
Blasphemy.
that's blasphemous. So it's Eminem, Jay-Z, Andre 3 Stacks, Biggie for what he gave us at the time. Okay, actually, you know what I'm gonna do?
5 songs by B.I.G.
Actually, wait. Let me stop.
Exactly.
Let me take Tupac and Biggie and put them outside the top 5 because they weren't alive long enough to give us all these things.
We have to be real. We respect the dead, but we have to be real.
Yeah, okay. So I have to put in Lil Wayne there.
Okay.
Lil Wayne. So I've got one left. KRS-One. No, I'm just- but he's dope.
Yeah.
KRS-One is dope. KRS-One, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane. All these guys are phenomenal. But for people that I can say that I sat down and I listened to, I'm gonna have to put in Kendrick. So I've got Eminem, I've got Jay-Z, I've got 3 Stacks. Cannot not have 3 Stacks there. Lil Wayne and Kendrick.
Look, it's a decent one,
That's
and a lot of
decent.
people can definitely, agree with it. You can't debate much about it.
Yeah.
And you are a certified hip hop hate.
Yeah.
Just for saying that.
Just for saying that.
And then you asked me about 3 Stacks because it's one of those things that are dear to my heart.
I'm sorry,
that I only speak to.
Even though this is a channel that people should also watch. It's got Hip Hop DX. I think it's Hip Hop DX. They do a lot of hip hop history and everything. Yeah. So then they were talking about was it the history of hip hop or history of lyricism?
Okay.
And then they were trying to break down the different bars and how it works.
Right.
The first person they went through is 3 Stacks.
Yeah.
It started there, and they also talked about Biggie in terms of like how he would rap over the bars and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
So
He was a good lyricist.
in terms of lyricism, he was great. In terms of just pure passion of rapping, no one could touch Tupac when he was rapping. I think lyrically, Biggie was better than Tupac. He was more better
and
lyrically.
he knew.
And Tupac knew.
Yeah, he knew.
Until they got hit with Hit 'em.
That one. Still number one in
terms of
this song.
Yo, hit 'em up, and Ether. Just like
Ether, yeah.
Ether's number 2. Yeah, but that's like P Diddy was on shows talking about how Hit 'em up still hurts them to this day.
I would too.
Yo.
Yeah, I would too.
No, he went hard there. Yeah. So.
Speaking about 3 Stacks, I just remembered now that one of the things that made him to be impactful in the culture was the fact that he put on the South Side. Remember, the South Side was never famous for hip hop, and when he won the award for best artist, as Outkast, of course, the room just became quiet.
Yeah,
and he came. You must look it up. He came and to collect the award, and people were booing him. And you must remember, back in the days, when you're in a certain city, you get booed at. Remember when Tupac, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg collected their award, and they were in New York.
Yeah.
And they come from California.
Yeah.
And Snoop Dogg was like, "Oh, New York does not have love for us. Well, let it be known then."
Yeah.
So with Outkast, when they won, they were right in between because usually the people that would win is from the south side or the west side.
Sure.
So he was like, "Oh, so people don't have love for us. Then we represent the south and we got something to say."
Yeah.
From that day, the trap music,
the
sound that we hear now from the south, yes, was birthed from there.
So they gave us all these screw guys, huh?
Yeah, but they messed it up.
Well, they messed it up, but
they
the
messed it up.
original,
But all the artists from the south side, they have all the respect that they need to give to Andre 3 Stacks because that was the time when hip hop from the south side became big,
became major,
and they made money from it.
Of course, they made
Because
stacks.
it would have been New York or California. So
East side, west side, and then he broke down the barriers. Let's take hip. Okay, I'm going to say that I don't know much about. I'm hoping you do. Hip hop within the South African context. Yeah. So who are your top hip hop guys? Given the fact that we lost AKA.
Shit, man.
Yes, I was touched that day. Hey? Yeah, I was touched. I was touched. Besides, who did it? Did you do it? Was it you? Was it you?
Look, that case, knowing South African law,
it's never gonna get solved.
No one's gonna be.
We're still waiting for our captain Usenzo. We want justice for Samir.
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, they sensationalize the Tabo Bester thing as if it's a new thing. People escape prison each and every day. I mean, there's a gang called Amarav 3.
Amarav 3.
Amarav 3.
Jeez.
You know, those guys
I should
are known for
I should interview one of them. Like, yeah. So how do you guys do it?
I can get one of them for you.
Please do.
I will.
Please do.
As
I don't think you don't have that.
Yeah.
So are you comfortable? Not on camera.
No, I know them. You know, some of them we grew up together in the hood. Come on, man. I'm not learning.
Oh shit. Oh, I know people who steal people's tax money. Like I've heard of, not that I know them, I've heard of them. You know?
So yeah.
Please, like I just wanted to ask her. So like, escape prison me.
I'll hook you up.
Yeah, please do.
But you know, South African top 5 for me.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Pro Kid.
Yeah.
And then he later on renamed himself as a pro.
Mm-hmm.
KO, definitely one of the best lyricists, you know, in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I will throw in AKA not because he's dead, but because I've always put him as one of the best musicians.
Yeah, I know it.
He's not the best lyricist.
Have you seen him perform live before?
I have. I knew him.
Oh, you knew him. Oh, you knew AKA.
I knew AKA.
Oh, okay.
I
So
don't like
it was you, was it?
No, I did. I've watched him plenty times.
Yeah, like I haven't seen anyone perform like that ever.
Really?
Not like the way he performs.
Yeah.
The way he performs.
Puts in the work.
He's like, next thing he's lying on the floor, still rapping, and then he'll bust a move.
It's a beauty to watch him, you know, especially if you are in the same stage as him. So most of the time I've watched him, you know, perform, I think maybe 5 times.
Yeah.
And all of those times I was, you know,
backstage,
a few meters away from him, watching him.
Yeah.
He has strict rules whereby people not being allowed on stage.
Sure.
Or only his bouncer and
Yeah.
some colored guy. I know him as well.
Some kind of guy.
Yeah.
Is that the guy's name? Some kind of guy.
I don't know him. I don't know his name. All I know is that guy will fuck you up if you get on stage.
Bouncers, like, listen, I thought bouncers, man, yo. Yo, bouncers.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're in a club, don't say, today is the day for me to pick a fight with the bouncer. Don't say I didn't tell you. No, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Like, because I think in the club rules, I think it's like 1 bouncer for every 100. So when I heard that, I'm like, 100 people. I'm like, how is he going to control 100 people? Hey, my shit, I want club. Yo.
Yeah, so yeah, look, AKA was one of the best performers in the country as well.
Yeah.
I actually got the bottle from him when he came out, Cruise, when he came out.
Yeah.
I'll send you the video.
Yeah, please do.
I think I posted it on my WhatsApp when he died.
Yeah.
But I'll send you the video. And then, so I've got 3, né?
Yeah.
And then
you've got Pro Kid, you've got Pro, he was Pro Kid, now it's Pro. KO, one of the best lyricists.
Yeah.
You have AKA.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, damn, hip hop.
Yeah. In SA.
I don't want to put Casper because, sure.
Casper
is not a good lyricist. He doesn't make nice music too. He makes music for the club. I'm not gonna pump Casper when I'm driving. Tito Moin while I'm driving. No, I'm keeping it real.
Hey Casper,
Look,
the day I get you the show,
what edge does he have?
We're gonna miss this guy. Well, let's some lander though. I'm
serious.
I'm trying to get some sponsorship from Biliata here. Yo, listen, I'm kidding. No, I don't know. Like this is your top 5. This is yours.
Casper, one thing
He's a businessman.
is that he can perform.
He can perform.
He can dance. He can do whatever. I've got nothing but great respect with him, even as a businessman. But when it comes to music,
talk about
let's take it back to the music.
Yeah,
because I can control myself.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put him on top 5.
Sure,
in my humble opinion.
Yeah,
no disrespect.
Yeah,
but I think one of the guys that were very impactful in the South African hip hop, it's Nasty C.
Nasty C.
Nasty C, lyrically, this guy would kill you.
It's a bad hair.
Yeah, he would kill you. Yeah, he would kill you.
Do you know what this guy, Nasty C, came up and said, hey, Nasty, we need to talk about that. The day you said you would come out and body Eminem, I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I tried saying he could body Eminem. I don't know where that ended up, but
Like,
he said it, yeah.
Eminem.
He said he could body Eminem. I don't know if he was joking or not, but
Yeah, he's pushing it. I like the confidence.
Very,
I like the confidence.
very. I like the confidence.
I like the confidence.
But not he's like he's a next level, eh?
He is definitely.
He's
This
next
guy,
level.
you can't tell if he can appeal in every country. America, South Africa.
This guy had a Netflix series, a Netflix show.
Oh really?
In Japan, Zulu man in Japan, Japanese crowds loving songs.
Imagine.
Akunin Zulu.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
That's nice to see.
Yeah. So yeah, all respect to him.
Yeah.
Nice to see. And then I will put in. Oh, you said greatest of all time, right?
Yeah, within with its greatest all time, your top 5. Because again, as South African hip hop, I need to do more of my research and get more into it. Because for me, I know the usual suspects. You didn't talk about Deleuze. How dare you?
I mean, look, if I were gonna put it in the list, then I might as well put MT as well. Usually back better than Ledes.
Yeah,
if
sure.
We have to be honest.
If we have to be honest, yeah.
We have to be honest.
No, I'm being inflammatory, you know.
And then I'm gonna put in Dumi, Stogie T. Stogie T he's one of the godfathers of South African hip hop.
Yeah.
He's one of the bridges and also one of the educators of how you should deliver, especially on the lyricist part.
Sure.
He doesn't have a lot of body of work. I know this one EP. I think I forgot the name of it. It's Sheep Wolf or something like that. He spits there.
Yeah.
What he did during lockdown as well, it contributed a lot into the culture because a lot of people were just sleeping on him and they didn't know how much he really, is to our culture. He's like the South African KRS. No one can fuck around with him when it comes to dissing and stuff. Ricky did it, but then with the Ricky, it was personal because he was signed under Motive, which is his record label, and he didn't say anything about his talent. He just spoke about money. Only.
Yeah. Okay.
So so it's gonna be Stogie, KO, Pro, Nasty, and who else?
There's one name that you mentioned. AKA, yes.
Yeah. That's my top 5.
Is that your top 5? Yeah. Okay, like I'll take that top 5 and I'll make that my top 5.
You're gonna run with that because you don't know South African hip hop
as much as I'm going to admit it. I want to admit that's why I have this podcast so I can learn. I can learn. I'm not gonna lie to you and say
I'm there.
No, because people lie out there.
Yeah,
they will lie. I know my stuff. Okay, who's your top 5? It's like the WNBA. Who's the top 5 WNBA players of all time?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I only know the one that was talking about the ring. I know that one.
Okay, right. So, like, name your top 5 WNBA.
I don't know them.
You don't know them. Then you're not a feminist. Then you're sexist. Why are you not supporting the WNBA?
We're gonna talk about it. We can get into it.
Well, let's get it. Let's get into it.
I'm not a feminist because it has been messed up now, by society. I'm all for feminism when it's about equal rights. I'm not about feminism when women get rights and more privileges than men.
Yeah.
Originally, the movement of feminism was about getting equal rights.
Yes.
Not women overstepping the men and also disrespecting men and also wanting to get certain privileges that men have given them. Because if we have to be honest, the whole feminism was given by men because if men wanted to, they would have continued oppressing women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if we have to go back into history, there's no matriarchy that stood the test of time. It's always been, men that are ruling the world. So the same privileges that you have been given by a man, you are fucking around with it and you're abusing it. You know what I mean? It goes back to relationships as well. I'm just gonna jump into
sure.
Whereby you find women that not have nothing to give or to put on the table. Yet they are looking for a certain type of a man. They're looking for a high value man.
You sound like Kevin Samuels. Hey, you're the Godfather Kevin Samuels. You are average at best.
You're a solid 6.
which is ludicrous. So what do you think about that? I mean, so You think about a lady, ne? Who, to be honest, is a solid 5 on whatever scale people are putting it on. Has got 3 kids. Doesn't earn quite a lot, but then now she's got these expectations that are here.
Yeah.
That are just crazy. And what do you say about that?
Okay, so now my thing is, every woman on planet Earth is looking for a high value man. There's no woman that will say, I'm looking for an average man, a man that is like this and that and that and that. Every woman is looking for a man that has status, that is looking good, that is ambitious, and that is also a productive man.
Yeah.
Every woman is looking for that.
Everyone.
I can ask 10 of them, I'm sure 9, if not 10, will say they're looking for the same man.
Yeah. So you want to do because in the next couple of weeks, actually next week, I have another friend of mine, a female. I'm going to talk about this exact. I'm going to ask her this question as well.
Please ask her what are you looking for in a man, physically, and also what attributes are you looking for in a man. She'll tell you exactly what I'm telling you right now. So now, she's looking for a man that looks like me with a bit of money.
Yeah, with a bit of money.
Yeah, because I'm tall,
just like me. Yeah, you're TTH, tall, dark, and handsome with a nice beard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's just that I don't have millions in my account. Otherwise, I was gonna be an ideal man.
Man, he's got millions. He's just hiding there. You want to put an Ashraf Hakimi. Yeah.
So now, with wanting that, women now are not also becoming high value women. And to become a high value woman,
to him. What's a high value woman?
A high value woman has nothing to do with money.
I've never asked that question actually.
I can tell you. Let me break it down.
Let me know.
A high value woman is a woman that is feminine, a woman that is agreeable, not obnoxious, a woman that is beautiful, that takes care of herself, a woman that is preferably fit as well. So now, also, one of the things that most men are looking for, especially high value men, are a purity of a woman. Yeah. Throughout history,
you're gonna get yourself into trouble here. Purity.
No. I have to say it like it is, because as much as we live in modern times, we have to tell it like it is.
Yeah.
Whoever that's gonna take this sideways, she's not gonna learn from it. Yeah. But what I can say to you is, every man is looking for a woman that is pure. Sure. Obviously, we're not expecting virgins, but also we're not expecting niggas that have ran through you. Men and women are not equal. Men and women, look.
No, Karen, I'm entertaining you. Yeah.
So now, the attractions that we have are not symmetrical. They're asymmetrical. Yeah. Meaning that whatever that you like may not necessarily be what I want. Yeah. So you want money. Yeah. You want the status. You want someone that is, confident and ambitious. Yeah. I'm not looking for that as a man, because those are masculine traits. Sure. I'm looking for a woman that is feminine, a woman that will be able to take care of the family, a woman that will support me, and support my goal as well, so that she can benefit from whatever it is that I'm building. Understand? We are there to provide and protect. We're not there to compete with our partners. Any woman that says, no, we equals, no, we doing this. You can say we partners, but then you can't say we equals and stuff like that. Even big companies, when they merge, they're not equals. One company joins the other. There's no 2 CEOs, there's no 2 presidents. It's a leader, and then there is, I don't want to say follower, because they get triggered by that, and then they get lost into,
why do you think women nowadays, not all women, let me say some women, don't want to follow the leadership of a man?
It goes back to feminism. It goes back to women being given the same platforms and opportunities as men. Yeah. And then they abuse that, and then they think that they are men as well. Because you must remember, having money, you're gonna need to be, masculine in a role. There's no, feminine woman that is a boss. You need to be masculine. Very masculine, and, a masculine man, a macho man, a high value man doesn't see that as attractive. Yeah. This is why you won't see, Andrew Tate, whoever that is, I would think a high.
So how do you so you've touched on it, but let's be I want us to be very, very clear. What is your definition of a high value man?
A high value man is a man that belongs into a higher social status. You need to have money. If I have to be blunt,
Yeah.
you need to have money. You need to have worked so hard in life that you are building a society.
Yes.
A man that is very, active in building a society.
Yeah.
A man that is looking good. A
Yeah.
man that is taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that are ugly, but money, can make up for it.
But at least they're like, you can be quote unquote ugly, but you're like taking care of yourself. Like you're making the best of your appearance. Like you're like going to taking care of your hair, taking care of your nails, taking care of your threads. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that, high value men, there's not too many of them. It's like 5 to 1% in the world.
Jeez, like.
And then you have a lot of women that are looking for that one person.
So not everyone is going. Just looking at the math. I'm not good. I'm not the best at math, ne?
Yeah.
But just looking at the math, not every woman who wants a high value man, based on the ratio of them being available, is going to get them.
Exactly. My thing is, in order for you to attain that type of a man, you need to be a high value woman.
Yeah.
And I've listed things that make you a high value woman.
Sure.
If you're gonna come up and be obnoxious and not agreeable, masculine, and do all those things, sure, it's fine. You can get your money and you can be, a masculine woman. It's fine. That's good for business.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a high value man, you need to be feminine.
Yeah. Can a question that I can ask? I mean, given where we live, how we live today, it is very possible, even more probable, that people in a relationship, a woman will earn more than a man.
Yes.
It happens. It's very, very possible given the world we live in now.
Yeah.
So let's say you've got this scenario. You've got a woman that's very masculine in terms it comes to work and comes to business. Do you think it's possible that she can switch and then at home be that high value woman? You don't think it's possible?
It is not.
You don't think it's possible?
My thing is this. Let's say you get married to a high earner, not a high value woman, a high earner.
Yeah.
Chances are
there's a difference between high earner and high value woman.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So now this means that she's taking care of you because she's paying most of the bills.
Sure.
You can chip in there and then you can pay for a petrol.
Yes, like
but it's not doing anything. You know what I mean? Because with your salary and or without your salary, things are being taken care of. And there's no way in history that shows women taking care of men long term. She can take care of you for a couple of years, but if you are not ambitious and you're not showing potential of becoming greater than her, she's not going to stick around. That is a fact.
That is very true.
That is a fact.
Based on what I've seen, I mean, there's this one very powerful CEO I used to work with. Dynamics are different. She's very ambitious. She's
masculine.
She's masculine. She wants to buy Chelsea. She wants to buy a Chelsea football club. And then guess what her husband does? Saintly.
He's a bitch ass nigga. That's what he is.
No, he's at home. He's at home.
Yeah.
I don't want to sing this and
yeah.
But like he's at home. You say a BAN, bitch ass nigga, but what if he decided to just that's what he wanted for himself?
So my thing is this. Like I said, women don't take care of men long term.
Long term. Okay.
Women.
How much time do you have? You're in a situation whereby like your partner earns twice as much as you. Because
Until she wants to,
have kids and
become. You must remember what I wanted to say was women find their joy in building families, having kids, and also they are more of people.
Is that your statement of fact?
It is a fact because most women, they find joy in creating.
Sure.
Because that is their sole purpose, creating, and also nurturing. Most women, and this is a fact, you can even look it up, most people that are on psyche meds and who are going through therapy are women between the ages of 35 and 45 because of the decisions that they made earlier on. And you realize that those people don't have kids, they're not even married because they were masculine all their lives. It's fine. It made them to become, rich or to have money, but then at the end of the day, they're going to die alone. And that's what people are not, women are not built for that. We are into things. We like things. We like,
World Cup trophies. You're like,
You know what I mean? Women, they want kids, they want generations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you look at your grandmother,
and
you guys come through as a family, out of her came 3 different generations.
Sure.
And 100 people in that room from her.
Yeah.
she's the happiest woman ever.
Yeah, because she knows that through me, all of this exists.
Generation came.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is the purest joy a woman can find.
Sure.
You know what I mean? If you can ask that same woman to choose between her career and her money, to be alone, or to be a housewife
And have
be
that
taken care of and have
by her
kids,
family.
she'll choose become a housewife.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 women, they prefer to be housewives.
Yeah.
But obviously, because of the certain situations, they become, masculine so that they can become productive.
So do you think if that is the sole driver of a female to become a nurturer, a mother, have a truckload of kids and grandkids and great grandkids and to build things and create and be nurturing, do you think that the females now who are masculine and drivers, is that somehow our fault as men? Is that somehow our fault? What role did we have in having that paradigm? I mean, making them have that paradigm.
So to be honest with you, I don't want to stretch this into a world level, but let me put it into a South African perspective.
Sure.
And this is one of the topics that I wanted us to talk about, ilobolo.
Hey, saza sakhoka yo.
I know one person is asking himself, so where does our fault, and ilobolo come in?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
going to bring it closer.
Yeah.
Yes, when you come from a certain background, you are obviously prone to become masculine because, you need to build up, as a woman.
Yeah.
If you grew up from a single parent, you need to, work hard. Unfortunately, you need to compete.
That's
but
the way it
most
is.
women who, grew up in, a nuclear family, there's a mother and a father, and they got taken care of, even at an older age, they never, saw a need to work hard. And, originally, women were not meant to work. You know what I mean? I would prefer my woman not to work, and then I would provide for her, take from where, I left it. So now, when it comes to ilobolo, originally, ilobolo wasn't something that has a certain value. It was a token or something that was given to a family as a sign to say that we appreciate what you have done for Mtanenu, and the hard work that you put in. And now we would love to take this flower. This is why, one of the most common things that is said during the Lobola negotiations as abakhunyi is sibone imbali the whole point of it is to create a relationship amongst families. So now in history around the 1800s there is a leader called Theophilus Shipston. You must also look it up. He saw this whole thing happening around, about the families being built and all of that. You must remember, Dala, you would come with inkomo eyodwa. You come with a stick for umama. You come with, something nice, to a family, and that would, qualify as ilobolo because you are giving something.
So when did these four pipe come in as ilobolo nowadays?
Just now. So now, when you bring these things, you are simply saying that I will take care of your kid, and this is what I can offer you guys to show you guys that I have something. You know what I mean? And there's more where that came from. So now, if a pipe, is looking at all. He's a white man, by the way.
That is a white name if I've ever heard of
a white man. So he saw all of that. And then he created a certain standard that ilobolo mele iqale ku 11 cows.
11 cows?
Yes. So now if you are a headsman, meaning you are a person that has...
So how did a white man get to the point of influencing a culture that's not his?
You must remember, when you rule a land, you get to amend certain things. And also, there's a smart way of introducing certain things. That would entice people. It worked best for, the the daughter's family.
Yeah.
Because now
I'm out of pocket. I don't have money now.
Yeah, exactly. So now you were saying
that's so interesting.
I was expecting at least 2 cows because as a father, I'm married with 1 cow. I'm expecting at least 2 cows from this person. But then now this white man is telling me that I can get 11 cows from my girl.
I want all of it.
Definitely. You know what I mean? So now it happened like that.
Yeah.
And then so now there was a rule. You must look it up. It's there. It's history. So it's 11 cows.
Yeah.
And then if you are a headsman, it's 16 cows. And then if you are a king or a chief, it's more than that. So now in modern times, the whole point of it from that person, I almost said a white man's perspective. I don't want to sound racist, but then from that perspective, the whole point is to destroy marriages and is to destroy families because that's where families are being
because
made.
now it's really hard. Now it's hard.
It's hard.
And also like that makes a lot of sense as to why Abodaki, Tina, we take so long on average to get married because we're like, I can't afford this. Yeah.
Your mom probably ulobolo 1,000 rand back in the days.
Yeah,
it was a lot of money.
Yeah, I haven't asked, but
back in the days,
yeah.
However, it was a lot of money for Ubakila.
Yeah.
And he had to work for that.
Yeah.
So now, it's because we're living in different times now, but they've built whatever it is that they had together.
Yeah.
Now, you need to build yourself up as a man. You need to have you need to have an apartment.
Yeah.
You need to have a stable job.
Exactly.
And then you also need to get your shit together.
Exactly.
All those things, if we have to be honest, they will take around 10 to 15 years. By the time you're 35 and you're 40, you are already a high value man.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And when you're a high value man, which I'm bringing back to a high value man, you have options now.
Yeah.
And what do you do when you have options?
You exercise
options.
Mm-hmm.
And by that time, you are called trash and all of that. I'm not going to work 10 years and 15 years and not have a wife. Mm-hmm. And then when I can finally find a wife, now I need to marry one wife. You understand what I'm saying? It's like,
I want all of it.
Exactly.
All of it.
What I'm saying. So I think, the whole point of, and it goes back to, families. And I was speaking to Munyubaba Mdala, and he's a very smart man. He told me to say that if my daughter would get married or find someone, all I want is just a cow, a sheep, and just a nice, beautiful stick only.
Oh, yeah.
Only if this man can promise to take care of my daughter.
So is that where the whole stick thing came from?
Yes.
From way back. I was wondering, I'm like, when they asked me, I'm like, why? Why do you want...
Because cows and...
We're headed with sticks. Yeah.
Not only die.
Yeah.
So now, a stick will forever be a reminder that
so it wasn't like a practical thing that you used to like...
No, not really. That's why sometimes you find them decorated. And then you'll find the salugas and ati awuqoqele le nduku le lapho ayithola kaNkosi ithathe indodakazi yami. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just making an example to say that that's a reminder to say that umntana wala ekhaya walotsholwa. Here's something that we have to prove for it other than the letter. So this whole thing here, and people being charged 50,000, 100,000, 150,000 for a woman that has been ran through.
I get you. I've any tricks is Berman. Oh my god. That is actually a very fair point that you put there. That is a very fair point. It's like, I think about it this way. It's like you work all, like a list example of cars. Mm-hmm. You work all this year. You 15 years. You're grinding. You're working. You're on those sales calls. You're closing. You're doing all of these things. Yeah. Now you have 10 million rand. Now you want to take just the 2 and you want to go buy yourself a nice car. And then someone's going to sell you a used car that needs a lot of maintenance, a lot of mileage on it.
It's not fair.
A lot of mileage on it. Yeah. And then when you say no, the car dealership is like, God, I was trash. But that's not the case.
Yes.
So that's exactly what's happening.
So let me make it this analogy.
Yeah.
Women, they are born with their value.
Yeah.
Men gain their value over time. When you are a woman,
that is so deep. I've never thought about this. I want to repeat what you said.
I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah.
Women are born with their value.
Yeah.
Men gain value over time.
Sure.
So this is like a trust fund baby that already has $1 million.
Yeah.
Versus a man that needs to work.
Yeah.
In order for them to get that million.
Yeah.
So now the only thing that is actually women are playing life on easy mode.
Whoop is on legendary now. Whoop is on easy mode. Yeah,
they're on easy mode because the only thing that you need to do as a woman is just retain your pureness. That's it. You must not be. You're a gatekeeper of sex. You're a gatekeeper of
children
as well. So you
that's how powerful women are. Like without a woman, there are no children.
Exactly. So now, the best thing that you need to do in order for you to shape your future, is to become feminine, work on yourself, go to school, study, and not let boys to run through you. You definitely attract a high value man.
Yeah.
While a man, us as men, and I always tell niggas this. You need to work hard and get your shit together in order for you to attain a suitable wife.
At the end of the day,
you can't, exactly. Because let me make this other example as well. Would it be fair for me to say that I stay with my mom?
Yeah.
I eat Cheetos every day.
Yeah.
I'm fat.
Yeah.
I don't take care of myself. I don't go to the barber shop. I don't work. I don't want to work. And then I say I want a beautiful woman that looks nice.
No.
Sounds ridiculous.
You're not gonna get.
But guess what? That's how women say that. You have.
I'm going to clarify and say some women. That's not say all.
Most women. I said most women. Most women go queen. You know your worth, girl. There's no girl that will say, I mean,
that's very true. Women like Dr. Umar Infatunde, he used to be Umar Johnson, you know of him. Now he changed his name to Infatunde. He was very influential in when I was like studying consciousness and business and how us as black people can build ourselves up. He made the point because he was making the point that he doesn't believe in interracial. You've heard him say this. Doesn't believe in interracial marriage whatsoever because marriage is an economic agreement.
It is.
Okay. I'm not going to talk about the whole interracial part, but what he said after that was very powerful. He said women always marry up in economic status. They don't marry down. I was like,
exactly. They don't.
I need to do my research on
it. It goes back to saying that look, we do have those bitch ass niggas that are being taken care of by their men, by their women.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, and I can tell you, a woman can never take care of a man long term.
Yeah, can you name these guys so I can get them on the show? Like, how did they won in life? They need to win home. They won in life. Like as some of us are working like maniacs, and then that's between stress. Podcast Karabo Kerry PT2 high value women. We're busting our tails. They're chilling at home.
How do you do it?
How do they do it?
I
want that for myself.
So it's the same thing that he's doing. Also with regards to attraction.
Yeah.
Men, they date, across or down.
Yeah.
In terms of status.
Sure.
Women, it's across and they marry up.
Yeah.
This is why in the kingdom, a king can marry a peasant and make her a queen, but a queen could never make her a king. This is why the queen married a nobody commoner, but then that person was
never king. That is so deep.
Those are the things that show you that you need to get your shit together as a man in order for you to become that man that you want and to attract the type of woman that you want.
Sure.
With a woman, and I urge women who are listening, whatever it is that you did in the past, it's fine. But just try to shape yourself to become a high-value woman.
Is it the? Can you forget all that? Can you forget all that?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm asking you as a personally, like let's say you meet a girl blows you off your feet. I wanna know, shot. Then because another friend of mine, I had him on the show. It was episode 19, I think, and he's all about high value man, high value this. He's Kevin Samuels. I must. You guys must look up. You guys will have a great time. A great time.
Yeah.
And then, so he's all about how body count matters.
It does.
How body count matters.
This is why I said that a woman in her purest form is virginity.
Yeah. But
we live in modern times. So
do you know what Bracula said to me? It was the funniest thing ever in my life. We were sitting down and we were talking. I was still in the streets before I got off. I was still
the streets are still calling.
I was still playing tiki-taka football. Get the ball passable. Get the ball passable. Get the ball.
You had to.
That's the thing. That
Otherwise,
was
you're not attractive. You don't have experience. It goes back to symmetrical, asymmetrical.
yeah.
Men don't want
The standards are different. Yeah, the standards
Yeah.
are different. So then I was like, I sat down. I was like, okay, right. I think I was like 26 at the time. I said, okay, I think cutting ins and mina match.
Yeah.
Like I want to like focus and match. Then we had the real talk about this specific topic about men and women, virginity and whatnot. And I was like, enjoyable.
Yeah.
Namhlanje I'm a virgin when namhlanje.
Yeah.
Ilaba abantwana. No kids.
Yeah, born again.
That is the standard of
Yeah,
virginity.
born
From according to
crazy.
Kira, I'm like,
crazy.
and I was like, yeah, right, Phil.
It's crazy.
It's not the ideal.
It's crazy.
It's not the ideal, but that is today. That is the
It's
standard,
crazy.
and I think part of it is our fault as Amachita as well. Part of it is our fault.
Look, man. I'm not gonna. Obviously, my thing is this, and I know a lot of people will bash me for this comment.
Yeah, yeah.
A woman is a gatekeeper of sex. You control who fucks you. You control who you have a baby with.
Facts.
You could never go back and blame.
Unless you were violated. Again, that's
Yeah,
a
if you were
different story.
violated, and we're not talking about that.
Okay,
you
yeah,
know what I mean. But you know, if you come at me at the age of 35, and you have a body count of
110.
15. No, 15.
15. 15 is a lot for you, eh?
No, we're trying to build something here. I know one of the biggest fears that men have,
What?
biggest fear that men have, is to question if the child is his or not.
Ish.
So now, if you
Yeah,
marry a
that's-
virgin,
Yeah. There's no question.
there's no question. But then if you marry someone who was a hoe, there is a question.
You know, there's this. I don't know if you saw the roast of. It wasn't Sumis. It was the roast
AKA.
of. No, it wasn't the roast of AKA. The roast of Kanyimbao. Yes, the roast of Kanyimbao. We say less than two. The day I meet her, I'm just gonna die laughing because like how funny she is. Like there was this word that she said. She says, "Hi, labo nondindwa abadliwa amadoda." I was like,
Yeah.
that is a deep word.
Yeah.
A deep word.
Like, okay, what's the first thing that women say when they insult other women?
It's fabulous.
Yeah, you bitch, right? Because that is the greatest insult that you can give a woman.
Yeah.
And then what is the greatest insult that a man would give another man?
Same thing? No?
Loser.
Oh yeah, you're a loser. You're a loser. Like you're not
Because
achieving
getting kids.
anything.
Yeah, you're not achieving anything, and also you can't get girls.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It goes back to symmetrical, asymmetrical.
Asymmetrical,
So
yeah.
now, if you used to bang a lot of women,
Yeah.
you become attractive.
Yeah.
We see that in Drake. We see that in Future. We see that in Andrew Tate. We see that with a lot of men.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact that a lot of women are still attracted to you, even with the knowledge that you fuck a lot of women,
Yeah.
shows that having that status and attraction to a lot of women makes you a highly wanted man.
Yeah.
But then if our Bambi,
If I
no man is gonna touch you. You understand what I'm saying?
if I
So I'm trying to eliminate the thought that women think that we are the same. To
Yeah.
say that, okay, look, if you don't want a high body count, I also don't want a high body count. First of all, you're looking for a man that has experience sexually so that you can enjoy sex.
Yeah.
You don't want to be teaching a man
Yeah.
how to fuck.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
get
that's
the
why
possible. Get the possible.
exactly, you know what I mean? So I always, I always urge men, to take care of their business first, and I always urge women as well, especially young women. I always want to, speak to young women about, the value that they have before they even indulge into sexual activity or even dating.
Sure.
When you go back into African culture, besides, looking into different ethnic groups, you realize ukuthi imihlanga isahanjwa kangaka. Imihlanga it's a girls' initiation who are preserved as virgins and then they are, taught how to become wives and women.
They must change the standard. If auna ingani, we cheat. It must be signed into the constitution.
It's crazy, man.
It's very crazy.
But then I'm not an unreasonable person. We're not unreasonable. Obviously, we're not out there looking for virgins, but we're looking for, a woman that hasn't been well through.
For the longest time in my life, I still think to today, to not disappoint myself. Maybe they still exist. Just
They
like
do.
just
But
maybe
you're not gonna bump into them.
I've to this day, like I've never actually met
a virgin.
Not like female, guy. But obviously after a certain age, let's say after the age of 20.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Look, and it's a shame because back in the days,
maybe
most girls were virgins.
Maybe one or two. Maybe one, two. But the thing is like most of the people now, like some of them, a lot of them are married, some of them are divorced, but like
they ran through.
There's nothing being married. It was like, for me, that's why I was like, virgin. Just to not disappoint myself. After the conversation I had with my dad, I was like, they don't. I'm sure they do, but
the fact that it's hard for you to find, virgins in the times that we're living in now shows that, the value of women is declining while the standard is increasing and men are continuously trying to better themselves.
The standard of men, what's required of men is
increasing.
Like men go through a lot, Karabo. We go through a lot.
We are. I mean, look, I'm expected to have, now the standard is, the stakes are up now. I need to have, more than 2 cars.
Just like the interest rates, huh?
Up now.
Why must you have 2 cars?
It shows that, the other car is not from the bank. You know what I mean?
What is that got to do?
Hey man, people are crazy out there. Women are looking for crazy things. Now they're not looking for, a nuclear family. They're not looking for, they're looking for some things that are crazy. And they don't understand that they are subconsciously competing against one another. Because there is one of high value men and there's many of them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's like one too many.
Yes. So if we can step out of this building right now, we will see a bunch of hot women. If you go to the club, there's a lot of hot women. But if we step out of this building, chances are we're not going to see a high value man, meaning that they are rare. So now everyone is looking for that rare person.
And now everyone's going to get them, unless he marries 4 or 5 people. Back to the next question I wanted to ask. From your perspective, do you think polygamy can work?
I'm going to take a sip on this one. So polygamy, in Zulu, what do they call it?
Yeah.
It's tembu. It's tembu.
Yeah.
It's tembu, with what I've learned, polygamy is everywhere in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
But what I've learned in the African culture is not everyone can have his tembu.
Yeah, this is just in preparation for when the lights go out,
His tembu is a gift from Abapansi.
Sure.
For those who believe.
Cool. I was at a church conference one time. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard ever. Like HUC church conference. I want to name the organization. Man.
Yeah.
So we were there at it's in the rural areas, okay. I think it was at Mkobot, somewhere in Pumalang. And the pastor gets up and says, Sibongu Jesu, because that's who you're there to worship. Sibongu Jesu Bazalan, Sibongu Jesu Bazalan. Can Ukoko at the back not get up and say, Kanye Nabodloti, I'm cool. I'm like, oh yeah, that's
awkward.
I died laughing. I'm like, how?
She kept it 100.
She kept it 100, yeah.
Anyways, so Africans believe that this tembu is a gift from Abapansi, and not everyone qualifies
to have polygamy. Yeah.
However, with polygamy, the whole point of polygamy, and this is funny, but it makes sense if you think deep into it. The whole point of polygamy is not for a man to marry multiple wives, but it's for every woman to have a husband.
Ah, okay. Dr. Moya Johnson said the same thing. Well, if Atunde said the same thing.
I don't know, probably.
Yeah.
But women, because of this whole movement that's going on and so forth and so on, they don't even want to think about the idea of polygamy. And if I had to break it down to them, they're in a polygamy relationship.
Break it down, brother.
They're in a polygamy relationship as we speak right now. We've got certified side chicks, we've got people who are married, and they know about the main wife and so forth and so on.
And the main wife knows about the side. Yeah, well, that is, it just hasn't been certified and shut down.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has its pros and cons, but I think with the pros, it's very serious in terms of increasing the family, and also having people that can assist in living.
Yes.
In terms of legacy.
Yeah.
And while you're working, they nurture the family.
Yeah.
Besides, having sex with multiple people, changing them without feeling guilty about it. But the cons of it is that, especially in modern times, I think you can touch on that because you feel different about it. There's obviously quarrels around it. We've seen it with the most famous people that are in polygamy, people that we know. That, there's always quarrels. There's no peace. Who's tamed. It's not like before. And I know it has everything to do with laws and rights that have been passed over the years.
So the question I'm going to ask you is, how can a polygamous marriage work? What are the rules of engagement there? Like from your perspective, from what you know and what you've experienced, what are the rules to make a polygamous situation work?
Okay, so first of all, in order for you to be in a successful polygamous relationship, you need to be a high value man.
Stand it up. You need to be able to afford things.
Yes, that is.
Can't be broke and have.
That is the number one.
Snobonongo, machankura.
Yes. Secondly, you need to marry a feminine woman that is domesticated and understands her role, which is to nurture a family.
Sure.
You can't marry another, strong black independent woman.
Like for example, Beyonce would never go for a polygamous marriage.
Yeah,
she's too high value.
She's a boss, high earner. She's not a high value because she's making. You must remember, a lot of people get this thing wrong. A high value woman has nothing to do with money.
As you just, from your perspective, as you just clarified. But like, okay, so for Beyonce, love you. Enjoy. I love the Renaissance tour. So when you come back to Joburg, like apparently we can't afford her. Joburg, a Beyonce show we can't afford her, apparently.
Yeah, we can't. but then that's a high value in terms of entertainment. Not as a wife. If Jay-Z could divorce Beyonce, she's gonna have a hectic time marrying someone else.
Is it?
Because high value men don't find women with money attractive.
Why is it because they're insecure?
It has nothing to do with insecurity. I think another thing that I'm gonna make you to think clear about is that a lot of people, they misconstrue the idea of insecurity. A man that is able to address something at the expense of losing it is very secured.
Yeah.
But then women, they say you are insecure, but then I'm telling you that, listen, I'm not going to stand for this, or this is what I don't want.
Yeah.
And they say they're insecure, but this person is very secure because he's putting it on the line. He says, I'm not afraid to lose it.
Yeah.
That's very secure.
That's very.
So now, with Beyonce, it's an example.
Yeah.
Beyonce already has her own money.
Yeah.
Already has been married before.
Yeah.
So now, from a woman's standpoint, that is not high value because high value men are not looking for that.
Okay.
They are looking for a woman that is modest.
Okay.
A woman that is making less than them in terms of money wise, if not nothing.
Yeah.
And then a woman also that is pure. That is high value woman. It has nothing to do with money.
I love Beyonce. I love you, by the way.
Money does not make a woman high value. Only men. You understand what I'm saying?
I get you.
Yeah. So if Jay-Z would divorce Beyonce right now, and I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me.
Yeah.
Not everyone is gonna
everyone's
a high value man
is going to be clamoring. Like, listen, I never have to work.
Debate about this.
I never have to work again. Like if I'm.
That's the thing.
I never have to work again.
That's the thing. I'm gonna make another example.
I'm saying me now, as a guy.
I know.
Never have to
Let
work
me make
again.
an example with another woman that you think is a high value woman.
Yeah.
So Beyonce won't take care of you.
Yeah.
Long term.
Yeah.
You have Halle Berry, who was one of the most beautiful women 3 years in the running.
Yeah.
She's still crying about child support, but she's rich, she's got money.
Yeah.
That tells you that women can't take care of men long term.
Yeah.
They still want money, even when they're rich.
Oh, Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry was talking about
child support. Yeah.
And all of that. After, I think, divorce.
Oh, yeah.
But she's got money.
Yeah, that's true.
So, those are the
no, I get you. Okay, so this is going back to
polygamy.
Yeah.
I need you to tell me the cons of it.
Yeah.
Because I have explained it.
The pros
and the pros are not really as many of it. By the way, I don't support polygamy.
But I just want to get someone else's perspective on this, because in the book I'm writing about it, and I just want to make sure that, because when I write something, I don't want to just say this is just what I just think from one angle. I want to 360 it. And I want to 360. I want to make sure, what does Karabo think about it? What does literature say about it? What does people experience say about it? What do children who have been in a polygamous household growing up, what do they say about it? Are they happy about it? Are they for it? Are they not for it? And so I'll start off by saying what my position is on polygamy. Just coming from a Christian faith and Christian background, immediately I'm going to say no, because my belief is that marriage is between one man and one woman. I'm going to clarify that: one man and one woman.
Yet the heroes in the Bible multiple bitches.
No, I get that. But just because that they did it didn't make it right.
But God approved.
I disagree with that. That thing is a difference between God approving it and him letting it happen. Those are two different things.
Okay, God let it happen.
That doesn't make it right. But anyway, the point I'm saying is that one man, one woman. That's what the marriage is. King Solomon had like 700 wives. King David had multiple wives.
300 porcupines.
I'm a porcupine. I'm using that from now on. I'm staying at 300 porcupine.
I'm biblical.
Yes, biblical. The concubines. I'm a porcupine. So anyway, that's where that's number one. That's where I start from. Then I take that and I put it here, and then I look practically. How has it worked? Because we can talk about something in theory and in
practically.
How has it worked? So, like what you said, the genesis of polygamy is to make sure that every woman gets the chance to be married to a man, and that man needs to be economically significant.
Yes.
So, if you take away economic significance, it doesn't work. So, if a woman is economically significant, she's got her own means, and she can also make her own money. She has this. I'm not going to say self-esteem, but more of like a worth that she puts on herself. And then she says, I'm worth being the only one. Like Rihanna said, I want you to treat me like I'm the only girl in the world, or something like that. Just looking at also the modern times. So that's the mindset a lot of women are in today, because they want to be made to feel that they're the only woman in the world.
Yes.
Then we look at children who grew up in polygamous marriages, and they say abayifuni. And I've spoken to quite a lot.
I have too.
Quite a lot. People I've never met, people I've met, they say they don't want it. Why? I think it's because outside of my convictions, what I believe. Let's say it was a practice thing. That's what we should do. Right? Let's say something that we should do. The man, you need to be strong, and you need to be principled. And you need to, like you said, it was a gift. You need to be gift from Abba Pants that it works according to you. Now, if it's not something that you were given, so it falls apart.
Yeah.
Now, if you've been given that and you're not acting according to the rules of engagement, it falls apart.
Yeah.
Now, there cannot be any favoritism. If you have 4 households, like 4 different wives, each and every single one of them must get exactly the same thing, exactly the same car, exactly the same house, exactly the same budget, exactly the same time, any time that there's an imbalance, kids can see that I'm favored, I'm not favored. There's a disparity there. So looking at all of that, I am 100% not in favor of it, because people who say that they want to do it, people who are currently doing it, barring 1 or 2 that I've met, we can tell, you can see good structure. Actually, one of my therapists, right?
Oh, you got a therapist?
I've got multiple. I've got everyone. Someone's going to pray for me. Hey, it's called being It's called being an adult male. In today's 2023, that's what it's called.
I'm a therapist, you know that.
Never.
No.
I would suggest it.
Look, I'm humble enough not to say that I'm not gonna say I don't need it. You know, I've never tried it because I'm an African man, and
I think that's a problem. I think we should.
We're not talking about that.
No, we're not. That's why we jump off buildings and we shoot ourselves and kill ourselves and
we
beating
abuse
people. We're
women
beating
and all
women,
of
and
that.
it's got
That's
nothing. We're saying generally speaking.
Yeah.
No, not you. You don't know. You're an all-round good guy. You don't do that. you just go. Uye konka. Ushawa moya. That's the biggest lie. So ushawa moya. Namango yazi ufuna na beklapini. So,
Look, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Polygamy is not really, the best way of building a family, especially in this times. With me, I'm relevant to times. I like referring back to, the history and how it has worked very nicely for history. But in modern times, you have women now who are standing up and they are able to choose,
if
what
they
want
to be part of that.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm all for that. I'm all for women standing up and wanting to do whatever it is that they want. I mean, any woman that I'm associated with, or that I've met in my whole entire life, they've got something going on for them.
Exactly.
And, big ups to them. So, with regards to kids, I always believe in nuclear families. And that is, a father, son, mother, spending time together as a family. And, in polygamy, that's going to be impossible.
Yeah.
You have to be working 3 times hard to make sure that you maintain all
especially
these
in this economy.
You know what I mean? Yes, it's crazy now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So you have people that are unreasonable now who are still looking for polygamy, but they don't understand what it takes to be able to withstand.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, what are the rules of engagement? How do you make it work? Because I'm going to be honest. I came from church this morning. I prayed to Jesus and I said, let me be honest. There was a time. I sat down and I thought, could I do this?
Yeah.
Being a polygamous man. Can I have... No, but some people don't want to admit it. Me, I'm going to admit that I sat down and I thought, could I be married to more than one woman? Because I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they would, that they should, whatnot. I sat down and I thought, I'm like, I don't have that strength. Like, I'm not as full, but for
it's more than enough.
Ha!
And we're saying this with all respect because,
and it's a good hate. It's a good, even a good hate, just to make sure that this person is happy and healthy. She's taken care of.
She's right.
Yeah.
With everything that she says, she's right. And you know what I mean? Everything that she says goes.
Now there are 4 different people telling me.
I'm telling you, and look, I'm saying this in a more serious note, whereby, I've, had my own stress in a relationship, and I can't imagine having that double or 3 times. You know what I mean? And I'm able to handle my relationship.
Sure.
I'm able to. I know my person. I know what's okay. When she's like this, I need to do this. You know what I mean? I can also be in my own mood as well. Now imagine you're fighting with one, and then you're good with the other one, and then you have to bring that same energy to the other one.
Exactly.
I mean? It's not viable. Then now you have kids as well that you need to take care of.
Yeah.
And with me, I have a son, and there's nothing more that I love. Than to spend time with him, And in a polygamous relationship, you can't do that. You can't take a kid to the park and play with him. It has to be a schedule. There's a schedule that happens.
Yeah, that's
you can bring them together, but because of their mothers.
And then next thing they don't get along, and then next
they don't usually get along.
Next thing by a lawyer,
I actually know 2 people that come from polygamous relationships.
Yeah.
One is saying that he's not close to their brothers and sisters. The other one is saying that
I'm actually going to make it a point. One of the guys, he married my cousin. And my cousin had a kid before him. So I asked him the whole thing about purity and high value women. I said, so you don't have a problem marrying someone who has a kid already, because some men have that issue, have that problem. But granted, he had kids already. And he's like, no. I don't have a problem with it. He's a very great guy. I'm gonna get you on the show, guy. Very, 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 very great guy. Then he came from a polygamous background.
Yeah.
And at every single family event, there's like 22 kids. No outsiders. 22 kids.
Yeah.
And then
this
is a squad, bro. This is like, I don't know what you call it. That's an organization. That's an organization. Then there's disparities, there's fighting, and then there's favoritism, and it's like, he'll never. And this is one of the few guys that I've spoken to around this, because I'm like, this is a very dangerous
thing. I'm glad you said one of those things, because I was afraid to sound ridiculous.
Yeah,
there is voodoo into this, into this.
Tight, yeah.
So, and it's a lie that, my kid is your kid as well, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then you have another woman, that you would marry, but can't bear you kids.
Ish. And then you really love that person.
You love this person, you know what I mean? And then, it's very tricky.
It's
and
so complicated.
I don't advise niggas to go through this.
Yeah.
The fact that you can't handle your wife and your side chick at the same time shows, and they don't even know each other. The side chicks know about the wife. But, you know what I mean? The fact that you can't make it official.
You're making everybody angry now. You're making guys angry. You're making girls angry. All of.
Guys, I have to say that.
Yeah.
I was told to be controversial today.
No, I didn't say that. I said be real.
He told me that I need to.
Rile people.
The devil's advocate.
Yeah, that's very true.
At the end of the day, I'm leaving here. Stuck here with you guys.
they know your name. They know where you live. They'll find you. No, it's good to have very real conversations, because what I found everywhere, wholesale, everywhere, people are not being real. Mm-hmm. They're not being real. They're lying. They're talking about this and they're talking about that. That's the thing. So it's good to be real. It's good to be controversial. So it gets people thinking.
We actually covered everything.
We covered everything. You were just checking. Well done. We covered everything. No, that's very crazy. So then, do you have any questions? This is the time on the show where you can ask me. You can ask me like any questions that you can be the host.
I want to ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
You call yourself Fulamini now, which is one of your clan names, right?
Yeah, that's for when I go play music. Yeah.
Are you a good DJ? That's not the real question. I'm just asking.
Yes, I am. I am.
What music do you play?
Afrotech, yeah.
Okay. So now Shama effect.
Not a lot. Sometimes. Okay. The variations, yeah.
So now, I've never heard you Uztula or you giving out your clan names. Are you able to do it?
To a certain point, and I'll tell you why. Because we were never sat down and taught the whole thing. Mm-hmm. They go on for like a minute.
And it's easy to find them because it's a
no. So then from a musical perspective, when I play music, when I start a set, mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And then I stop there. It goes on.
But can you go?
Can I go? Yeah. I'm putting myself through that process because I'm going to have kids.
Yes.
For 7.
My son, who's 3 years old,
yeah, he knows all of them.
Push.
Can you push?
All, but he can push.
You push. Good, because you taught him.
Yes.
Right, exactly. You made it a priority.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tina.
The only thing you taught her to do is play PlayStation.
No, he didn't teach me that. No, I think in terms of continuity, I think this is we also need to be real with ourselves as human beings.
Yeah.
Up until a certain point, your parents have taught you everything they're going to teach you.
Yes.
There's nothing more. Like, yeah, they can give you life advice and experience. Now it's on. After a certain point, you being an adult means that you are your own father now.
Yes.
You are your own father. You are your own mother. That's what adulting is.
Yeah, true.
Now I need to go and teach myself. So right now I've got a Swati Bible.
Okay.
I like as good as I am in Isingis.
Yeah.
I want to be as good in Siswati.
Nice.
And that is what me and my wife are going through that entire journey now, because I
don't know what made me to ask that question.
It's a very good question.
And it's personal then?
Not
I
really.
like asking personal questions. I'm saucy.
I mean, I'm an open book. I'm an open because I tell you why. Because I go to therapy. Yes. Yeah. So like it's very important. Like ukshata. It taught me to like, yeah, how much do I really know about my clan? How much do I really know about my ancestry? How much do I know about my tribe, myself?
Yeah.
Because it's easy for me to listen to Abu Malcolm X and Abu Julius Malem and say your identity was taken, you lost to a knowledge of yourself, a stranger in a land that's not yours, ha ha. But then after that, I'm like, so what do I do about it?
Yeah.
And so that's why on this podcast I've got people lined up from Eswatini themselves,
nice. From
the royal house, bazofika lana and give me a full history lesson. Because when I was going through the process of doing the traditional marriage, like proper, like the way the Nkoslamines do it, it never been done before. Wow. Nice. After that, brother got jumped on the back when it's like, his guy's done all the homework. Let's let's figure it out.
Yeah. Nice.
I was like, Angaz Luta. Like I got Abonkos from the royal house. I said, okay, what must I do? I realized I had to start from Genesis. Like I learned that my dad didn't know. And I don't know if his dad knew. None of us. I remember sitting in a meeting with all the cousins.
Yeah. I must commend you that you took that step. Part of the reason why I'm asking is because living in these times and in this world, we have kind of lost ourselves.
Yeah, we have,
and we don't taking accountability of the fact that our fathers didn't teach us.
Exactly.
My dad also didn't teach me Majola, and I know more than him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And now I don't want to continue the same era that he did. This is why my son knows Itazalozaki. So also the reason why I was saying that is because I went to training at work, and they were asking us questions about. So there's this thing when you go on training. So with our company, there's a lot of branches and there's a lot of regions. So now we're meeting a lot of people from other regions as managers. So there's this thing during a training that they ask to say, okay, just stand up, introduce yourself, and then tell us which leader in the world that you look up to. So you stand up, you introduce them, Jabula James. I love Mandela because Mandela released us from bondage. You sit down.
Yeah.
So people are standing up. Obama,
Elon Musk.
Other one said David.
King David.
I was like, nigga, you don't even know David. I don't understand why you don't even relate to David. David fucked his soldier's wife.
Exactly. And he killed the soldier. He had him killed. Exactly. That's your leader.
You know what I mean? So it was my turn to stand up now.
Yeah.
And I just suddenly got some goosebumps because I'm African, man, and I needed to. I was impressed by some other guy who stood up and was like, he looks up to his uncle.
Sure.
I stood up and I introduced myself. So the company knows Kerry. They don't know Karabo.
Yeah.
So hi, my name is Kerry, from this place. The leader that I look up to. So it's dead or alive.
Yeah. There's a dead or alive. Okay,
that's
good to clarify. Yeah.
So I stand up and then I introduce myself and then I say, remember, there's white people there. Some white shit,
Yeah.
And then I say, halala. Ushaka inkosi yasemashubeni emsinga salophuma khona emsinga saloshona khona
sure
ilanga liphande linye ilanga uhlangene emasifeni amanye amadoda sigidi.
Yo.
And everyone was like quiet.
Yeah.
Because they don't know who I'm talking about. And then I said, wena wendlovu. Bayede. So that awkward silence that I felt, I expected it.
Yeah.
But it was so sad that with the bunch of Africans that were there,
they didn't know.
They did not know or even relate to what I was saying. Others even felt embarrassed because I was saying that, because I was doing all of that, and it looked foreign to them, yet we are in Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was part of the training. What I did there was part of training.
Yeah.
Because I introduced Ushaka Zulu the way he would want to be introduced.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And with all his claim names, it's what he does.
Yeah.
So he's called Udlunganigandaba. The name Udlunga means Ukankasa Ngolaga. We know Ushaka Guti, Uhlanye Mishuna Mayamadoda. Every leader across the planet, out of Hitler, Napoleon, those people had mental issues because of the things that they did. It was not normal. So when I saw that, I realized that it is very important to identify yourself and also have a certain legacy so that whoever that thinks about you or talks about you, they introduce you
that way.
You know what I mean? I felt very proud.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
You know, one would feel very, embarrassed about it. But, that awkwardness made me realize these niggas
we're not in Kansas anymore. That is also another thing. Like you see these shirts I've got, Africa knows my name. Ne?
Yeah.
It's an indictment on myself. I'm not doing right. I'm not doing right because I've been to the UK, I've been to Las Vegas, I've been to Singapore. It's not something to be proud of. I've been to Amsterdam, Germany, Thailand. Don't do that. I've been to Cape Town. It's Europe. But I've never been to Africa, like Angola, Kenya, Nigeria, Egypt, Morocco, Burkina Faso, Benin, Angola, Rwanda. I haven't been there. Like Africa's like Abilungabeko. It's just us. And then I'm busy saying, hey, I'm African this, African this. And then also Africans are waiting for the rest of the world to tell them our story.
Yeah.
And yet we as Africans don't know our stories.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't know Abanswati. We don't know Amazulu, Amandebele, the Shongas.
Where we come from.
And we don't know, there's a lot of, and I feel there's this big rise in African consciousness, the re-rise of African consciousness. And I'm going to say, I'm going to take Mina, Iskatsam, and I'm going to find these African stories and learn African languages outside of Siswati and Sizulu, like Swahili. That's a good African language, Lingala. What do they speak in Nigeria? Igbo, yes, Igbo, yeah. Just not fluent, but know enough to converse in it, because we're all good with the Queen's English.
We even have. They say I speak like an American.
You have an American accent.
Yeah, they say I've got an American.
Which part
accent.
of America?
Harlem.
You're a Harlem Globetrotter.
Harlem.
Yeah, you're from Harlem. Yeah, that is great.
That's hip hop. Influence how we speak.
Yeah. So that's the thing. And there's some people are speaking French and Spanish, but you don't know Espanol. You don't know Francais. Like you know Francais, but you don't know Siswati.
Yeah.
There is a problem. That for me, that's a problem. Yeah. That's a problem. And I think it was a long time coming, but the moment I said, okay, I need to do the traditional wedding, like it was school for everybody in that case. And I said, look, listen, I think no people are more powerful than Africans.
No.
I don't think anyone's more powerful than Africans. Now the problem with you see with some Africans is that you don't believe it. Like the United States is possibly the greatest country ever. Possibly. We're all using an American product. Everyone's using an American app or American product, whatever. And they've got this belief that they are the best. Like you go there,
they believe it.
Yeah. Like they'll have
everywhere they go, they say I'm American
and I'm the best, because like think about they'll have the World Series and it's just them. They'll have the NBA championship and say you're a world champion, but it's just them.
Yeah.
But they honestly believe that collectively that they are this force. Now, South Africa between 94 and somewhere in the 2000s we had that Madiba magic. 95 we win the World Cup. 96 we win AFCON. Fish. No Clive uhambile awujam.
Shame. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Uhambile.
Remember that?
Yeah, uhambile. And we had this belief, but then it just started eroding. Now we used to say, "Simunye, we are one." Yeah. We don't have that. We don't have that unity. One person. We don't have that one thing that's like, I'm South African and I'm really.
2010 tried to revive it.
We tried with Philip, and then It just didn't stay. Just didn't stay. So like
back to business.
Back to business,
especially when we got kicked out.
Yeah, exactly. Then it was back to business, and then there was xenophobic attacks the next day, like the very next day.
Yeah.
And South Africans wholesale, I'm not sure that they believe that they are capable and that they are strong, as well as Africans as well. I'm talking about wholesale.
Yeah.
You get those people with a strong identity and they say, I'm African, I'm not apologetic about it. But I'm talking about wholesale. Do we as a continent believe that we are as strong? I'm not too sure if that's there. Yeah. So that's I'm going to be looking for African stories. And
please, I'll also send you some stuff as well.
Yeah, send you some stuff. So I'm busy reading stuff like Karabo Muto. I'm busy reading his books. Yes, I'm busy reading his stuff as well. But so quite I'm a sangom. I'm like, they want me to publish their stories, and they've got interesting stories.
Yeah, you must.
They've got interesting stories. I'm telling you.
As a writer, I think when you go through that research, these are type of concepts that we're looking for.
Yeah,
we want to read about Karabo Muto as well, and the type of information that we have, we were lucky enough to have contact with people that were close to him.
Sure.
So please do some research and then write it down. I think that's where your legacy.
Exactly. Like the whole process of I'm writing it down.
Please. I think I need to write my comments on the next book that's coming up. I'm looking at these books and I don't see my name on this.
I wrote that before we got into.
Hating on these books.
Why are you hating on these books?
I don't have. My comment is not there, man. I'm already on 2 books that have been written.
We'll add you the next. We'll add you the next one. All right. So we're coming up on 2 hours. So is there anything more that you feel that you want to cover? So like you as Karabo, what is your final message? Because like there's so much to cover from guys like Andrew Tate, and what do you think about this whole red pill movement? Like
we need a whole show for that. But one of the things that I would really like to say, especially wrapping up with everything that we have spoken about, is everything that I've said was not to really discourage or to talk shit to any group of people, can be women or men, but just look at it into a positive, in a positive way. This is just 2 guys that are just chatting. We are as real as it gets. Men, let's work hard, because those are the standards that have been put in. Every man has been given an ability to make sure that they succumb any challenge that they put in, because every standard that is there has been put in by a woman. Unfortunately, we need to respect that, and we need to work hard to make sure that we are those men that contribute to the society. Women also, in order for us to work together, create value, contribute to family, and also bring something to the table, then we are able to become to coexist.
Exactly.
I think most of the things that a big problem in our society can be eradicated if we are able to look at ourselves, look in the mirror, take accountability, work on ourselves in order for us to be able to attract the next person. With regards to anything else, being true to yourself, being African, knowing yourself. The question that I posed to you was a very important question, not only to you, but to your listeners as well. At least, take time, speak to your uncle, speak to your father, know about your clan names and what those clan names mean. Where do they, come from as well? You don't know. Maybe you come from, warriors. You know what I mean? And in modern times, obviously, we're not going through physical war,
but we're going through a different war.
Different war, and you are embodying the same spirits that your ancestors, had. And those are the things that you can draw strength from. So I really encourage us, especially as Africans, to go back into who we are.
Sure.
You know, even if we go across another race, white people, they know who they are. They know, who they are, their leaders.
Yeah.
Their surnames, they mean something.
Yeah.
And they go with that. When they are being, motivated by the parents, they tell them that you are a Smith, and they know where the Smith comes from.
Yeah.
Where the Smith conquered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now when you say Utiwena, you are Mabena. You must know that you Umbuduma. You know what I mean? So those are the things that are very much important. And man, let's stand up. Let's become better men. Let's protect. Let's provide. And that's all I can say.
Yeah, let's promote the woman, and it's the highest call of responsibility for a man to say, I'm going to protect, I'm going to provide, I'm going to promote a woman.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, what do you want to be? Do you want to be someone people can look up to? Do you want to leave a legacy? Or do you want to be a bitch ass nigga? Which one do you want?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's us on another episode in the conversations part of the NJ podcast. Remember that success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That means you're going after what you've always wanted to go after, and that's because it's aligned with your highest values, and that is the only way to live a truly fulfilled, inspired, and authentic life. And each and every single one of us have not figured life out. If anyone tells you they figured life out, they're lying. We're all trying to figure this life out. We all need to rectify the sins of the past and make sure we don't pass them on. We all need to know who we are. We need to know whose we are. We need to know where we come from, but more importantly, where we're going. And I think a lot of the problems that are in society today are because people don't have a strong identity and a realistic identity with everything that's going on. So, and people have got societal pressures that are put on them, but they don't know what they truly want and what they truly believe. And it's a very big call. And men, I believe, are the cornerstone of society and the world. The stronger the men are, the stronger the society are, and the more empowered women will be, because you've got empowered men empowering the women. You know what I mean?
Not bitch ass niggas.
Labo. All right, girl. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you for joining us on this episode on the NJ Podcast. Make sure to visit the website, the njpodcast.captivateair.fm, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, all the other podcast platforms, or via RSS, so you never miss a show. You can also find the video content on the YouTube channel and Instagram page. That will be Njabulo James on YouTube and njabulo.j.ngosi for Instagram. Please subscribe and follow on those platforms as well. And while you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on the podcast platforms, or if you'd like to tell a friend about the show, that will help us out too. If you'd like more information about published or upcoming books, visit www.njabulojames.com for more information. Please reach out if you would like to share what you would like to hear and which guests should be invited to the show. And remember, success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal, which means that you are doing what you have always wanted to do because it is aligned with your highest values, and this is the only way you can live a truly fulfilled life. Now just chill until the next episode.